When I had my first baby, I was very surprised by the amount of time I spent carrying him. He was a high-need infant who was easily overstimulated, and he cried a lot. The only time he was content was when he was breastfeeding or being held. In 1988, I designed our first baby sling, and since then we have made ongoing improvements in the design and quality of materials used in production. Although baby slings have been used for centuries, they are relatively new to this generation. We've developed this video to instruct parents in the many ways our sling can be used. Let's go over the parts of the sling. This is the shoulder pad with the nylon rings. This is the pouch or hammock where the baby rides. These are the padded side rails, and this is the tail. The first thing to do is thread the sling tail through the rings. You can wear the sling on either side. If you are right-handed, you may find it easier to begin with the shoulder pad on your right shoulder so you can adjust your sling with your right hand, or vice versa if you are left-handed. Holding the tail in your left hand, check to be sure the pleat is facing the floor. The top side of the tail has a line of stitching that ends in a bar tack. This side should always face up. Bring the tail up through the two rings and then down between them. Check that you've done it properly by pulling down on the pouch. You'll see that the nylon rings hold very well. Hold the sling pouch under your arm as you pull forward on the tail to prevent the shoulder pad from coming forward. Now have a look at this tail. You should have pulled it through the rings past the bar tack. The tail splits off into the top and bottom edge of the pouch here. See how you can pull just one edge through to tighten the top? We'll demonstrate how valuable this is as we get into sling positioning. This mother is practicing what has been termed kangaroo care in many neonatal units. Premature babies can benefit greatly from skin-to-skin contact with their mothers. Babies relax, breathing and heart rate stabilize. The sound of the mother's heartbeat, breathing sounds, voice, and even her smell comfort the baby. A very tiny baby can be laid on the mother's chest in the frog position, and then she can tighten the sling around the baby. A preemie is even better supported with a lambskin or folded receiving blanket placed in the sling hammock. Lean the baby against your shoulder and tighten the sling so your baby feels snug against you. Always support your baby's weight with one hand while adjusting with the other. When using the cradle hold position for a premature baby or a newborn, start with baby on your unslung shoulder. Bring the top edge of the sling pouch to the back of your baby's head. Lean forward so baby's weight is transferred into the sling. Your baby should be lying across the width of the sling, toes touching your tummy. Now, with your hands on the outside of the pouch, turn the baby in the direction of the rings. This position enfolds your baby safely, and you can use the split tail to raise your baby's head. Baby's head can be in or out of the sling. To breastfeed in the cradle hold position, snug the baby up to breast level. If you need to lower baby's head, simply pull on the bottom ring, always supporting your baby with the other hand. To breastfeed on the other side, you can pull the sling forward while easing baby back into the football hold position. Again, minute adjustments are possible with the split tail. Be sure to have the sling snug so your baby is not tugging at your breast. As baby gets longer, you will be more comfortable nursing with your baby's head positioned away from the rings. The heart-to-heart baby sling allows you to meet your baby's breastfeeding needs while giving you privacy. Breastfeed anytime, anywhere. As babies grow, they will nurse in all kinds of positions, including the upright position. This mom has lowered the pouch, and in the hip position. When babies start getting curious about the world around them, they won't want to lie in the cradle position unless they're nursing or sleeping. One of my favorite positions is the upright position. Start with baby held against your shoulder. Bring the top edge of the pouch up to the back of baby's head. You can have it lower depending on your baby's neck strength. Now pull the tail to snug baby against you. Use the split tail feature to pull the top edge through the rings so baby's head is well supported. Smaller babies tuck their feet in. Longer babies can have their feet out with the sling pouch cupped under their bottom to the backs of their knees. If you are just starting to use a sling with a baby between 2 and 6 months, this position is the best to begin with. Practice with a doll first so you're smooth with the adjustment. You start off supporting your baby against your shoulder and then gradually snug the sling up so it eventually takes the baby's weight. If you can do this while slowly walking or rocking, baby won't notice the sling is holding him instead of you. Another popular upright position is the kangaroo position. Open the pouch and lean baby's head back against the sling on your chest. With your arm under her knees, place baby's bottom into the middle of the pouch. While supporting baby's bottom with one hand, pull the tail with the other. Use the split tail feature to tighten the top edge. Baby's legs naturally fold in front. Another version of this kangaroo position is to lean baby back against the sling so his head is just under the rings. These positions center the bulk of baby's weight close to the parent's center of gravity, the sternum, making baby feel lighter, and gives baby a great view. Once your baby is sitting up on her own, the hip position is another comfortable, natural position. Start with baby high on your shoulder. Guide baby's feet through the sling, cupping the lower edge of the pouch under baby's bottom to the back of his knees. The upper edge can be behind baby's head, under the arms, or even over the head in windy weather. Pull the top edge through the rings to keep baby from leaning away from you. This is an easy position for transporting tired toddlers. Toddlers can be easily moved to the back position from the hip position. Simply shift the child back on the hip, swing your arm over him, and your hands free in front. Be sure the fabric is pulled up to support the child's back and tucked to the back of his knees. Babies often fall asleep in the comfort of the heart-to-heart baby sling. To put your baby down into a bed, simply loosen the sling by pulling up on the bottom ring. Lean over the bed and lay the baby down while supporting her with your arm. You can then either undo the rings or slip the sling over your head. In the early weeks, depending on their size, twins can share the same sling. Place one baby in the cradle position and the other facing him on the other side of the pouch. Their legs will overlap in the middle. Or you can wear two babies in the upright position, one over each breast. If you're doing this on your own, it's easier to lay the babies on a flat surface, then lean over and make the sling tail adjustment. One parent can use two slings to offer a wider variety of positions. This mom likes to overlap the slings on the same shoulder, while this mom feels more balanced with a sling on each shoulder. Two slings also come in handy with siblings who are close in age. Don't use the heart-to-heart baby sling in a moving vehicle, the exceptions being public vehicles like trains, buses, or airplanes, where the sling is very useful. Don't use the heart-to-heart baby sling while jogging, exercising, or in any sporting activity where your baby's safety could be compromised. Don't use the heart-to-heart baby sling while cooking or close to an open flame. Baby's hands are fast and curious. Support your baby with one arm when bending over, or better yet, bend at the knees. Be aware of your baby's body extending beyond yours when going through doors or walking close to furniture. The heart-to-heart baby sling comes in petite, regular, long, and extra long sizes. If you feel you cannot pull the sling snug enough, try out the next smaller size. If you're not getting at least 6 inches of tail through the rings, try out the next longer size. We also make doll-size slings for big brothers or sisters. If you find you can't adjust the tail, support your baby's weight with one hand and pull out and down to adjust the sling. If you find the fabric is twisted in the rings, inspect the sling before putting it on to make sure the tail is flat, coming through the rings with the bar